I paid off the entire mortgage. But my brother handed my home office to his unemployed friend. My dad shrugged, just work in the hallway, stop making a fuss. So I quietly sold the house they'd all been living in for free. They didn't find out until the new owners showed up with the police. Here's the thing about family, they can make you do things you never thought you were capable of. Like the day I finally decided to burn my family's world to the ground? It started, like so many other days, with my brother, Flynn, eating my food, complaining about my mayo, and acting like he owned my house. But then he pushed me too far, and I realized I wasn't just losing my mind, I was losing everything to them. And that's when I decided to take it all back. I'm Vera, 32 years old, and technically, I owned the house we lived in. Technically, because family always complicates everything, right? 3 years ago, I bought this place with my software developer salary and every last dime from my weekend consulting gigs. My dad moved in after his retirement fund evaporated. And Flynn? Flynn just never left. That morning, I watched him from the kitchen doorway, scrolling mindlessly through his phone, shoveling my carefully prepped work lunch into his mouth. You always buy the wrong kind of mayo, he grumbled through a mouthful of my sandwich. That's because it's light mayo, for my sandwiches, I wanted to scream. Instead, I just stared as he shrugged, reached for the second half. You can make another one. The casual entitlement was a punch to the gut. I grabbed my laptop, trying to keep my breathing even, and headed for my home office. It was the only space that was truly mine in the 3-bedroom house I paid for. But when I opened the door, my heart stopped. There, on an air mattress in the middle of my perfectly organized workspace, was a complete stranger. Flynn. I choked out, my voice barely a whisper. Oh, yeah, he said, appearing behind me, still chewing. Kai needed a place to crash, just for a few weeks. Kai. Flynn's best friend from college. The one who'd been between jobs for the past 3 years. He stirred on the mattress, gave me a lazy wave. You can work in the hallway, Flynn suggested, like he was doing me a favor. There's that little table by the window. I spun around, my voice a dangerous low rumble. This is my office. I have meetings. Client calls. I need privacy. Don't be dramatic, he rolled his eyes. Kai's going through some stuff. He needs a proper room. And I need my workspace, I shot back, the words burning in my throat. The workspace in my house. The house I bought. What's all this shouting about? Dad emerged from his room, looking irritated. Probably just finished his usual morning TV marathon. Vera's being selfish about her office, Flynn declared before I could even open my mouth. Kai needs a place to stay. Dad's face hardened. Really, Vera? After everything this family's been through? Everything this family's been through, was he serious? Like me working 60-hour weeks to keep us afloat? Me covering his medical insurance? Me paying for Flynn's car repairs last month? The hypocrisy made my blood boil. I have meetings, I repeated, hating how small and whiny my voice sounded. Client calls. I can't work from the hallway. Sure you can, Dad snapped. Stop being difficult. Family helps family. Kai isn't family. He's like a brother to Flynn, Dad insisted. And you're being ridiculous. Just grab your laptop and work somewhere else. You're good at adapting. You always have been. I looked at him then. Truly looked. The man who hadn't hugged me since Mom died. Who never once said he was proud of me. Who watched me work myself to exhaustion while telling Flynn to find his passion. Fine, I said quietly. I'll work in the hallway. They both smiled, satisfied. Problem solved. The difficult daughter managed. I walked to the hallway table, a wobbly IKEA piece I'd assembled myself, and opened my laptop. Behind me, I heard Flynn and Dad discussing what to order for dinner. On my card, naturally. My fingers hovered over the keyboard. But instead of opening my work emails, I opened Google. How to sell house quickly. The first result was an ad, cash buyers. Fast closing. No questions asked. I clicked it. My phone buzzed. A text from my coworker, Cassandra. Meeting in 5. You joining virtually? I typed back, yes. And hey, do you still know that realtor you mentioned? The one who handled your sister's quick sale? Regina, she replied. Sure. Want her number? I looked over my shoulder. Flynn was back in my office, my former office, helping Kai set up a gaming console. Dad had returned to his TV shows. Neither spared me a glance. Yes, I typed to Cassandra. I think it's time for a change. My hands were steady as I typed the next message, even though my heart was pounding a drum solo against my ribs. 3 years of suppressed rage, of simmering resentment, crystallized into perfect, icy clarity. They thought I was good at adapting? Fine. They thought family helps family? Perfect. I was about to help them learn some very expensive lessons about taking people for granted. Actually, I typed to Cassandra. Can you call Regina for me? Tell her I need someone discreet. Someone who can help me sell this place without my family knowing. The response came quickly, OMG. Are you doing what I think you're doing? I smiled, a slow, grim curve of my lips, as Flynn's laughter echoed from my old office, followed by the sound of them rearranging my furniture. Yes, I replied. I'm going to sell this house right out from under them, and they won't know until the new owners show up with the keys. Regina was exactly what I needed, efficient, discreet, and delightfully ruthless. We met at a coffee shop 20 minutes from my house, far enough that I wouldn't run into anyone I knew. Cash buyers are your best bet, she said, sliding a folder across the table. They'll take it as is. No inspection drama, faster closing, but you'll get about 15% less than market value. I sipped my latte. How fast are we talking? 2 weeks, maybe less. She studied me over her glasses. Your coworker, Cassandra, mentioned there might be occupancy issues. The buyers I have in mind specialize in complicated situations. They'll handle the eviction process legally, with police present if needed. She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. But you should know, once you sign those papers, there's no going back. Your family will be legally required to leave immediately. The cafe door chimed. I glanced up to see a young couple with a baby, looking happy, normal. The kind of family that probably said I love you and meant it. My phone buzzed. A text from Flynn, we need more groceries. Also, Kai finished the last of your coffee. I turned back to Regina, my gaze unwavering. Where do I sign? The next 2 weeks were a masterclass in acting normal. I worked from my wobbly hallway table, took my calls outside, and pretended not to notice when Kai and Flynn turned my office into their personal gaming cave. They even hung up their stupid neon beer signs on my walls. Your brother's friend seemed settled in, Cassandra commented during our lunch break. We were sitting in my car, our daily planning spot. Oh, you have no idea, I said, scrolling through apartment listings on my phone. Yesterday, they asked me to chip in for a bigger TV for their room. Their room? Cassandra nearly choked on her sandwich. Girl, please tell me you said no. I said I'd think about it. Then I called Regina and asked her to expedite the paperwork. My phone buzzed again. Dad, this time. Power bill is higher than usual. Can you handle it before the weekend? Cassandra read the text over my shoulder and shook her head. They really have no idea, do they? Nope. I opened my banking app and scheduled the payment. One of the last bills I'd ever pay for that house. They thought I was their personal ATM with an endless supply of patience. That evening, I came home to find Kai and Flynn sprawled on a living room couch, surrounded by empty pizza boxes. My pizza boxes, from my freezer. Hey, sis. Flynn called out. We're thinking of having some people over this weekend. You cool with that? I stepped over their mess. Sure, whatever you want. See? Flynn turned to Kai. Told you she's chill when she's not being weird about her office. I smiled, a cold, empty smile, and headed to the hallway table. My laptop was open to Regina's email, buyer signed. Closing in 3 days. Final walkthrough tomorrow while occupants are home. Remember to act surprised. Right on cue, the doorbell rang. I'll get it. I called out, my heart racing, adrenaline coursing through me. Probably just a delivery. Regina stood there, clipboard in hand, looking professional and stern. Good evening. I'm from Metropolitan Realty. We're doing a standard neighborhood assessment. May I come in? Flynn and Kai didn't even look up from their game. Dad was napping in his room. I led Regina through the house, watching her take notes and photos. Perfect, she whispered when we reached the kitchen. Buyers will be pleased. You're sure about this? I glanced at the living room where Flynn was explaining to Kai how I'd probably buy them that TV if they played their cards right. Absolutely sure. Later that night, my phone lit up with a final text from Regina, papers ready. Closing on Friday. Police will accompany new owners at 2 p.m. Suggest you be elsewhere. I looked around my hallway workspace, at the house I'd bought with such hope, at the family that had taken everything and called me selfish for wanting just one room to myself. Confirmed, I typed back. I'll be gone by noon. Another text came through from Flynn. Hey, can you grab more pizza on your way home tomorrow? The good kind this time. I stared at his message for a long moment, then typed, sure, whatever you want. 3 more days. Just 3 more days and they'd learn what happens when you push someone too far. I closed my laptop and headed to my room, the smallest bedroom, because Flynn had claimed the master bedroom needed his gaming setup. As I passed my old office, I heard Kai and Flynn laughing about something. Don't worry, I whispered to myself. Laugh while you can. Friday's forecast calls for a major reality check. The storage unit I rented was small, but it was mine. No freeloading brothers, no entitled friends, no disapproving fathers. Just clean, empty space waiting to be filled with the pieces of my life I wanted to keep. I started with photos of Mom. Those were non-negotiable. She died when I was 15, and sometimes I wondered if that's when everything started falling apart. Dad checked out emotionally. Flynn became the golden child who could do no wrong. And I? I became the responsible one. What are you doing? Flynn's voice made me jump. I quickly shoved the photo album under some papers. Just organizing, I said, gesturing to the stack of work documents I'd prepared as cover. Spring cleaning. He leaned against the hallway wall, watching me work. Remember when Mom used to make us clean our rooms every Sunday? Yeah, I said quietly. I remember. You're a lot like her sometimes, he said. And for a moment, just a fleeting second, I saw a flash of my little brother, the one who used to follow me around, who'd crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. Then he ruined it. Always nagging about cleaning and stuff. I forced a smile. Someone has to. Speaking of cleaning, he continued, Kai and I were thinking of repainting the office. You don't mind, right? Since you're not using it anymore anyway. My office. The one I'd painted myself in soft blues and grays. The one with the perfect morning light. Sure, I said. Whatever you want. He grinned and disappeared back into my former sanctuary. I heard Kai's voice, told you she wouldn't care. I waited until they were absorbed in their game before slipping out to my car, driving to the storage unit with another box of essentials. Each trip felt like releasing a breath I'd been holding for years. That evening, Dad cornered me in the kitchen. The dishwasher's making that noise again. I'll call someone, I said automatically, reaching for my phone. Good. Oh, and Flynn mentioned you're okay with them repainting upstairs. I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. That's mature of you, he said. And for a second, I thought he might actually praise me. You're finally learning to share. Your mother would be proud. The mention of Mom hit like a slap. Don't what? Don't use Mom to manipulate me. She wouldn't be proud of this situation. He drew himself up, offended. What situation? Family helping family? Is that what this is? I gestured around the kitchen, my voice trembling. Because from where I'm standing, it looks more like family taking advantage of family. Oh, here we go again, he threw up his hands. Poor Vera. Always the victim. You know, your brother and I were just saying the other day, you'd never survive without us. Who else would put up with your constant complaining? I heard laughter from upstairs, Flynn and Kai, probably planning what color to paint over my carefully chosen walls. Dad was still talking, something about gratitude and family obligations, but I'd stopped listening. My phone buzzed. A text from Regina, paperwork processed, keys cut, everything on schedule for Friday. You're not even listening. Dad snapped. This is exactly your problem. You think you're better than us just because you pay a few bills. A few bills, like the mortgage, the utilities, the groceries, the repairs, their car payments, their phone plans. Their lives. You're right, I said softly. I'm sorry. He blinked, thrown off by my easy agreement. Well, good. Then you'll stop this nonsense about the office. Of course, I smiled. They can paint it whatever color they want. Later, after everyone had gone to bed, I sat at my hallway table and opened my laptop. The email from my new landlord confirmed everything was ready. A small but sunny apartment near the coast. First month's rent paid. Keys waiting. I pulled out Mom's old diary, the one thing I'd never let them near. The last entry, written just before she got sick, jumped out at me. Sometimes love means knowing when to walk away. My phone lit up with a group text from Flynn. Family meeting tomorrow night. Kai has some ideas for improving the house. Dad replied immediately, excellent. Vera can take notes and handle the expenses. I didn't respond. Instead, I opened my calendar and created an event for Friday at 2 p.m., freedom. 3 more days of nodding and smiling. 3 more days of whatever you want. 3 more days until they learn that sometimes family doesn't help family. Sometimes family teaches family a lesson they'll never forget. I closed Mom's diary and whispered to the empty hallway, I hope you understand, Mom. Sometimes love means choosing yourself. The credit card notification popped up on my phone during a work meeting. $847 at GameStop. I hadn't been to GameStop in years. Everything okay? Cassandra whispered. We were supposedly listening to quarterly projections in the conference room. I showed her my phone, and her eyes widened. Oh, hell no. After the meeting, I drove home early, my hands tight on the steering wheel. The GameStop bags were still on the living room floor when I walked in. New console, 4 games, 2 controllers. Flynn. My voice echoed through the house, sharp as a knife. Get down here. He appeared at the top of the stairs, already defensive. What's your problem? I held up my phone. Want to explain this? Oh, that. He shrugged. I still had your card info saved from when you let me buy groceries. We needed something to do while job hunting. Job hunting? I laughed. The sound was harsh, even to my own ears. When's the last time either of you even looked at a job listing? We're networking, he said, like I was stupid for asking. Building connections. These things take time. And my credit card? You're good for it, he smirked. Besides, you owe me. I owe you? The room felt suddenly too small, suffocating. For what, exactly? For always being such a control freak. For making me feel bad about staying here, I bought this house. My voice cracked, raw with fury. I pay for everything. Here we go again. Dad's voice came from behind me. He must have heard the shouting. Vera, why are you always trying to start fights? I turned to face him, my gaze unwavering. Did you know about this? About Flynn using my credit card? Well, I cut him off. He didn't need anything. And you know what? Neither of you need my credit card anymore. I pulled up my phone and started canceling cards, removing payment methods, changing passwords. What are you doing? Flynn demanded, his face red. You can't just cut us off. We're family. Family doesn't steal, I said quietly, the words falling like stones. Family doesn't take advantage. Oh, grow up. Dad snapped. This is why you'll always be alone, Vera. You're too rigid, too selfish. Your mother would be, don't. I held up my hand, stopping him cold. Don't you dare bring Mom into this. I'll bring her into whatever I want. I'm your father. You're a leech, I said, the truth finally, gloriously, out. Both of you are. Flynn stormed down the stairs. You know what? Keep your precious money. We don't need you, right, Dad? Dad nodded, his face hard. She'll come crawling back when she realizes she has no one else. I looked at them both, my family, my blood, and felt nothing but cold certainty. You're right, I said softly. I don't have anyone else. But after Friday, I won't have you either. What's that supposed to mean? Flynn demanded. I smiled, thinking of the signed papers in my bag, of the keys being cut, of the police escort scheduled for Friday afternoon. Nothing, I said. Just thinking out loud. I walked past them to my room, locked the door, and pulled out my phone. It's done, I texted Cassandra. Cards cancelled. No going back now. You okay? She replied immediately. I looked around my small bedroom, at the boxes I'd quietly been packing, at the life I was systematically dismantling. No, I typed back. But I will be. That night, I heard them in the kitchen, their voices carrying through the vents. She's bluffing, Flynn was saying. Where would she even go? Nowhere, Dad replied confidently. She needs us more than we need her. Always has. I pulled out the last photo I had of all of us together, taken the day I got the keys to this house. We were smiling. Dad's arm around my shoulders. Flynn giving a thumbs up. I'd been so proud, so sure this was the right thing to do. I struck a match and held it to the corner of the photo, watching as the flames ate away our fake smiles, our false unity. Then I flushed the ashes down the toilet. Tomorrow, I'd go to work like nothing had changed. I'd nod and smile and say whatever you want one last time. But in less than 48 hours, they'd learn exactly where I could go, and exactly how wrong they were about who needed who. The final signatures felt surreal. I sat in Regina's office, watching as she notarized the last document. The house wasn't mine anymore. Just like that. Congratulations, Regina said, sliding the papers into a folder. You're officially free. My phone buzzed. Flynn, asking where the spare key was. He'd locked himself out again. I ignored it. The new owners will arrive tomorrow at 2 p.m. sharp, Regina continued. Police escort is confirmed. Are you sure you don't want to be there? I shook my head. I've got other plans. Those plans involved a U-Haul truck already loaded with the last of my belongings from the storage unit and a coastal apartment waiting for me 3 hours away. But first, I had one last thing to do. I drove home, no, not home anymore, and parked in the driveway. Flynn's car was gone, probably out with Kai. Dad's TV droned from the living room. Perfect. I walked into the kitchen and pulled an envelope from my bag. Inside was a letter I'd written and rewritten a dozen times. By the time you read this, I'll be gone. So will your right to live here. The house has been sold. The new owners arrive tomorrow at 2 p.m. with police escort. You have until then to pack your things. Don't bother trying to fight this. The sale is legal and final. Don't bother trying to find me either. By the time you realize what's happening, I'll be somewhere you can't reach. You taught me some valuable lessons about family. Here's one in return, don't mistake kindness for weakness. Goodbye, Vera. P.S. The GameStop purchases have been reported as fraud. Enjoy dealing with that, Flynn. I placed the envelope in the kitchen drawer where Dad kept his reading glasses, the one place I knew they'd look eventually. Then I walked through the house one last time. My old office still smelled of fresh paint. They'd covered my careful blue-gray with a garish orange. The gaming setup dominated the room, tangled cords everywhere. On my expensive ergonomic desk sat empty energy drink cans and half-eaten bags of chips. Good riddance, I whispered. My phone buzzed again. Dad, this time, the internet's acting up. Fix it when you get home. Home. Funny how that word had become a prison. I took one last thing from my room, Mom's old cookbook, the one with her handwritten notes in the margins. Everything else important was already gone. As I reached the front door, I heard Dad shift in his recliner. That you, Vera? Yeah, I called back, my voice steady. Just heading out. When will you be back? The internet, later, I said, the last lie I'd ever tell him. Don't wait up. I closed the door softly behind me. In my car, I pulled up my phone and typed a message to Cassandra. It's done. Papers signed. Letter left. I'm heading out. Drive safe, she replied. And Vera, I'm proud of you. Those words, the ones I'd never heard from Dad, made my eyes blur. I wiped them quickly and started the car. My phone kept buzzing as I drove away. Flynn had found his spare key and was demanding I pick up groceries. Dad was still complaining about the internet. Kai had apparently texted to ask if I could Venmo him money for pizza. I pulled over at the first gas station I saw and bought a new phone. As I transferred my essential contacts, Cassandra, my work, my new landlord, I thought about all the times I jumped to answer their demands. The old phone kept lighting up with messages. I turned it off and dropped it in a trash can. Back in my car, I looked at the time. 4:30 p.m. In less than 24 hours, they'd be reading my letter. In less than 24 hours, their comfortable world of endless taking would implode. My new phone buzzed. Regina, sending the final confirmation, all paperwork filed with county. New owners have keys. Everything set for tomorrow. I started the car and pulled onto the highway. The setting sun painted the sky orange, the same awful color they'd painted my office. But ahead of me, the horizon was a perfect, peaceful blue, like my office used to be, like my life would be again. I turned up the radio and pressed the gas pedal. Behind me, 3 people sat in my former house, absolutely certain of their power over me. Ahead of me stretched an open road and a future they'd never see coming. 21.5 hours to go. The cafe's window seat gave me a perfect view of the ocean. I'd been here since opening, laptop open, pretending to work while actually watching the clock tick toward 2 p.m. My new phone buzzed. Cassandra had sent a link to a local news website's Facebook page. The headline made me choke on my latte. Police called to residents dispute, family claims daughter sold house without warning. I clicked the link. There was a photo of my old house. A police car parked outside. The article was brief, mentioning a family dispute and legal property transfer. Another text from Cassandra. Girl, it's blowing up. Your brother's posting everywhere looking for you. I opened Facebook. Flynn's status update appeared at the top of my feed, emergency. If anyone knows where my sister Vera is, please contact me immediately. She's had some kind of mental breakdown. Below it, dozens of comments, OMG, is she okay? What happened? Sending prayers. Dad had posted too, my daughter has made a terrible mistake. Please help us reach her. My phone started buzzing with messages from distant relatives and old acquaintances. I ignored them all. You okay? The barista asked, noticing my hands shaking as I set down my cup. Yeah, I smiled. Just watching some family drama unfold. Want to talk about it? I glanced at my phone. 2:17 p.m. now. Actually, yes. See that news article? That's my house. Well, it was my house until noon yesterday. Her eyes widened as she read the headline. Wait, you're the daughter they're talking about? The one and only. I showed her Flynn's Facebook post. They're making it sound like I had a breakdown. What they're not mentioning is how they took over my home office, stole my credit cards, and treated me like their personal bank for years. So, you just sold the house out from under them? Legally. With proper paperwork and everything. I refreshed the news page. New comments were pouring in. Just spoke to Flynn. He and their dad are being forced out by the new owners. This is insane. Where will they go? How could she do this to her own family? The barista let out a low whistle. That's some professional level revenge. My phone buzzed again. A voicemail from Dad. Against my better judgment, I played it. Vera, honey, please. I know we've had our differences, but the police are here. There are strangers in our home with paperwork. Your brother is crying. How could you do this to us? We're your family. We're all you have. Please come home and fix this. Please, sweetheart. We need you. My hands were shaking again, but for a different reason now. His voice. He sounded broken. For a moment, I was 15 again, watching him crumble after Mom died. Then I remembered, you'll never survive without us. I deleted the voicemail. Cassandra called. Are you watching this unfold? Flynn's friend, Kai, is live streaming from the front yard. I quickly found the stream. Kai was ranting into his phone camera. This is what happens when you trust crazy people. We're being kicked out. She's ruined everything. The camera panned to show Flynn sitting on the curb, head in his hands. Dad was arguing with a police officer, waving papers around. The new owner stood calmly by their car, waiting. I can't believe you really did it, Cassandra said. How do you feel? I watched as Flynn finally stood up, walked to his car, and started throwing his gaming equipment inside. Honestly, I began, but my phone exploded with notifications. Someone had found my work email and shared it. Messages started pouring in, how dare you? Your poor family. You heartless witch. But there were others, too, good for you. Wish I had your courage. They had it coming. The barista brought me another latte, on the house, for the entertainment. She winked. On the livestream, the police were now supervising as Dad and Flynn packed their cars. Kai was still ranting, but he'd started throwing in phrases like, I have nowhere to go, and dropping his Venmo handle. Vera? Cassandra was still waiting for my answer. How do you feel? I watched my family load their lives into their vehicles. Watched them realize exactly what it meant to lose everything. Watched them finally understand that actions have consequences. I feel free, I said. And I was surprised to find I meant it. I finally feel free. Your story has gone viral. Cassandra announced, barging into my temporary apartment with her phone held high. You're trending on Twitter as #SharkHouseRevenge. It had been a week since the sale. I'd taken emergency vacation days from work, hiding out in my short-term rental while the internet exploded with opinions about my life. Look at this TikTok, Cassandra continued, playing a video where a young woman recreated my story with dramatic captions. 5 million views. Great, I muttered. I'm a social media sensation. My phone rang. Another unknown number. I'd been getting calls from news outlets all week wanting my side of the story. I declined the call. Oh my God! Cassandra gasped, scrolling. Flynn just posted a GoFundMe. Homeless due to sister's mental breakdown. Please help our family recover. I grabbed her phone. The campaign already had $3,000 in donations. The description painted me as an unstable person who'd betrayed her loving, supportive family. Loving and supportive, I laughed. That's rich coming from someone who stole my credit card. My laptop pinged with a new email. A recruiter for a tech company in a quiet coastal town 3 hours away. I'd applied months ago, almost forgotten about it. We were impressed with your portfolio, the email read. Would you be interested in a remote interview this week? Before I could respond, my phone buzzed with a text from an aunt I hadn't spoken to in years. Your father is devastated. He's staying with your uncle. How could you be so cruel? I blocked her number and opened Facebook. My timeline was flooded with relatives taking sides. She worked herself to death for them. Family doesn't do this to family. They had it coming. She's clearly unstable. Your cousin Maria posted security footage. Cassandra said, showing me another video. It was from the day of the eviction. Flynn and Dad being escorted out by police while Kai screamed about injustice. They're staying with Aunt Susan, I said, having heard through the grapevine. She's always enabled Flynn anyway. And Kai? Apparently, he's sleeping on someone's couch. He started a hire Kai job search. It's not going well. My phone buzzed again. A voicemail from Dad. His fifth today. I played it on speaker. Sweetheart, please. We've learned our lesson. Whatever we did to upset you, we're sorry. This isn't you. You're not vindictive like this. Come home. We can fix this. Cassandra snorted. Now they want to fix things. I deleted the voicemail and opened my email to respond to the recruiter. As I typed, another notification popped up. Someone had shared my story on Reddit's pro-revenge forum. The comments were overwhelming, queen behavior. They ed around and found out. Best revenge story ever. This is what happens when you push someone too far. You're famous. Cassandra grinned. I'm infamous, I corrected her. There's a difference. My laptop pinged again. An email from Flynn. His first direct contact. Hope you're happy. Dad's a mess. Aunt Susan's spare room is tiny. Kai had to sell his gaming setup. All because you couldn't handle sharing your precious house. You always were selfish. Don't bother coming to any family events anymore. You're dead to us. I forwarded the email to Cassandra without comment. Wow, she said after reading it. Still your fault somehow. Amazing. The best part, I pulled up another email. Remember those fraudulent GameStop charges the credit card company investigated? Flynn's being charged with credit card theft. Holy sh**t. Yeah. Turns out karma's not done with them yet. My phone lit up with one final voicemail. Dad again. His voice was different this time. Harder. I recorded a video for you. A proper response to what you've done. Everyone will see who you really are. The daughter who abandoned her family, who threw away everything her mother built. You'll regret this, Vera. You'll die alone. I set the phone down, hands shaking slightly. Hey, Cassandra said softly. You okay? I looked around the temporary apartment, at my boxes packed for the coast, at the laptop with the recruiter's email, at the new life waiting to begin. You know what? I picked up my phone and blocked Dad's number. I am okay. For the first time in years, I'm actually okay. Good, Cassandra smiled. Because there's another TikTok about you, and this one's set to Fighter by Christina Aguilera. I laughed. Really laughed, for the first time since the sale. Show me. As we watched the video, my email notification chimed. The recruiter wanted to interview tomorrow. Sometimes karma works in mysterious ways. Sometimes it works through viral videos and credit card fraud investigations. And sometimes it works through a quiet job offer in a coastal town far away from the chaos you've left behind. The coastal breeze carried the scent of salt to new beginnings as I set up my home office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the ocean. No gaming consoles or entitled brothers in sight. My phone buzzed. Cassandra, sending another social media update. Dad's response video had finally dropped, but it wasn't having the effect he'd hoped. Have you watched it? She texted. No need, I replied. The comments tell me everything. They did. His attempt to paint me as an ungrateful daughter had backfired spectacularly when he accidentally revealed more about their behavior than he'd intended. We gave her everything. He'd apparently ranted. She had a whole hallway to work in. We only took her office because Flynn's friend needed it more. The internet had not been kind to that logic. My new desk chair, an exact replacement for the one Flynn and Kai had ruined, arrived just as my laptop chimed with a news alert. Someone had leaked Flynn's credit card fraud charges to a local news station. I opened the article, man who claimed sister abandoned family charged with credit card theft. My phone rang. Aunt Susan. I let it go to voicemail, then played it on speaker while unpacking my books. Your brother's being prosecuted because of you. He could go to jail. Is that what you wanted? To destroy this family completely? I deleted the message and placed Mom's cookbook on my new kitchen shelf. Next to it, I set up a small frame, not a family photo, but the receipt from my house sale. Below it, I'd written, the price of freedom. Another text from Cassandra. OMG. Kai just posted a public apology. I found his post quickly. It had already gone viral. I need to come clean about the #SharkHouse revenge story. We treated Vera horribly. We took advantage. We laughed about it. The gaming setup, the office, the credit cards. We thought it was funny to push her limits. We never thought she'd fight back. I'm homeless and jobless now, but I earned this. Vera, if you're reading this, I'm sorry. We all should be. The comments were flooding in, finally, some accountability. Too little, too late. Hope this helps your job search, bro. It won't. My new work laptop pinged with a message from my team. They loved my remote setup and wanted me to lead a new project. No more hallway table. No more interruptions during client calls. The doorbell rang. My new neighbor, bringing over a welcome basket. I hope this isn't weird, she said, but I saw your story online. You inspired me to leave my toxic marriage. Thank you. I accepted the basket, truly touched. How are you doing now? Better, she smiled. Much better. You? I glanced back at my peaceful, sunlit home office. Same. After she left, I opened my personal email one last time. There was a message from Dad, marked urgent. I know you've seen my video. I know you're reading this. Your silence is childish and cruel. But I want you to know something. I found your mother's last letter, the one she wrote before she died. She wanted us to stay together, to be a family. You've betrayed her wishes. You've betrayed her memory. If you have any decency left, any love for her at all, you'll make this right. My hands didn't shake as I typed my response. My first and last reply to any of them. Mom's last letter? You mean the one in her cookbook? The one where she wrote, "My dearest Vera, never let anyone dim your light. Not even family. Especially not family." That letter? I have it right here. She knew, Dad. She knew you'd try to break me like you broke her. But here's the difference, I fought back. Don't contact me again. Don't twist her memory to serve your narrative. You lost your house, your power, and your punching bag all in one day. Live with it. P.S. Flynn's court date is next month. Good luck with that. I hit send, then blocked his email address. Outside my window, the ocean stretched endlessly. My phone buzzed with another work message. My team needed my input on something important, challenging work that I could do in peace. I opened my laptop and typed a quick update to my own social media. To everyone asking if I regret what I did, no. To everyone asking if I'm okay, yes. To everyone asking what happens next, watch me thrive. Below it, I added a photo of my new office. Sunlit, organized, and completely mine. The caption read, "When they treat you like you're disposable, remind them you're the one holding the receipt." I hit post, turned off notifications, and got back to work. The ocean waves crashed outside, a steady rhythm of victory.